Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you all? Okay, students, before the starting of the class, please mark your attendance. And before the starting of class, kindly mark your attendance in the chat box. Mahnur, you were not here yesterday. Hannah, you did not attend the class yesterday. Was everything all right? You can tell, okay, there was not a problem. Okay, students, we'll just wait for 1 or 2 minutes for other students to join, and then we will start the class. In the meanwhile, we're waiting for the other students. I would like you all to keep your books open in front of you. Kindly open the books in front of you, open your textbook, keep a pencil in your hand, and open page number 53. Yesterday we did the paraphrasing of the poem. Yesterday we did the paraphrasing, and today we are going to start off with the comprehension questions and grammar and vocabulary exercises. So kindly open the books in front of you. Keep the books open in front of you along with the pencil or pens in your hand. Got it, students? And all of you should be ready. You're going to answer me in the chat box. Okay? Everyone will answer me in the chat box. Okay, mark your attendance, everyone. It's only Lamya and Mahnur who have marked their attendance. Ansha, Afan, kindly mark your attendance, everyone. We'll just wait for 1 or 2 minutes to for the students to join the class. Okay, students, I think we should start in the while students will be joining if they wanted to. Okay, let's start our today's lecture. We'll start with the comprehension question answers. The comprehension question answers. Uh, for these, I will unmute you people. You will raise your hands for answering the question. I'll unmute you and then you people can answer. But for the grammar and vocabulary exercises, on the next pages, you will just answer me in the chat box. Okay, students? Okay. The first question is, what is the central idea of the poem? What is the central idea of the poem? Okay, it's Manur, very good. We missed you, Manur, yesterday.
In this poem, the poet captures the images and feelings of human beings, and the poet beautifully presented before us the attractive and existing beauty of nature.
That's good. Very nice, Manur. Thank you. Okay, who else can answer the same question? Anyone who can answer the same question? Yes, Lamya.
In this poem, the poet captures the images and feelings of human beings. This poem is a tribute to nature and its manifestation. The poet beautifully presented before us the attractive and existing beauty of nature.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Lamya. Okay, the next question we have is, what do the daffodils represent in the poem? What do the daffodils represent in the poem? Yes, we have Anshra. Ji Anshra. Sorry, Anshra. Yes, beta.
Daffodil represent the nature and impacts of human being.
That's good. Very nice. Daffodil represents the nature and its relationship with the nature, a human being. Okay. Who else? Who else has raised the hand? Haya. Yes, Haya.
The daffodils represent the attractive and everlasting beauty of nature. They are a source of happiness for the poet when he is in thoughtful or pensive mood.
Very good. Very nice. Thank you, Haya. Okay, next. What wealth do memories of the scene give to the poet? What wealth do memories of the scene give to the poet? G. Mahnood.
The memories of the scene give the wealth of happiness to the poet. The poet says that this wealth of happiness is more important for him as compared to the worldly wealth.
That's good. That's nice. Very nice. Okay. List the words that heighten the sound effects in the poem. List the words that heighten the sound effects in the poem. Who's gonna do that? Be quick. Open the poem in front of you and find out the words that heighten the sound effects in the poem. Okay, we have Lamya. Ji Lamya.
Fluttering, tossing breeze, flash, sparkling.
Very good. Flushing, sparkling, breeze. That's good, Lamya. Okay, anyone else? Do we have few more words or these are done? Do we have more words? Anyone? Okay, it's Anshra. Ji Anshra.
Ma'am, trees, buzzers, hill, way by.
That's good, Anshra. Thank you. Beta, आपके ना there is some problem in your internet connection. I think your voice isn't clear. Okay. Anyways, let's move on to the next question. How has the poet heightened the impact of the poem by using figurative language? Yes, it's again Manur. Ji Manur.
The poet has heightened the impact of the poem by using similes, metaphors, imagery, and personification. He draws the images of lakes, fields, trees, and stars. He compares the daffodils with the Milky Way and dreams to dance with daffodils.
Very good. Very nice, Manur. I am confident enough that few of my students are well prepared for the board examination. The people who are serious in taking classes, they are well prepared for their board examination. I'm very happy for you people, and hopefully you'll get good marks, inshallah. Okay, let's move on to the next page. It's page number 54. On page number 54, the writer has described figures of speech. These are called literary devices or figures of speech as well. Got it? These are called figure of speech or literary devices. But in the question, these devices are referred to with the word figurative language. Okay? Okay. Simile. A simile is a figure of speech in which like or as is used to make a comparison between two ideas that are basically dissimilar. Basically, simile is a comparison in which two things are compared with each other with the help of the words like or as. Got it, everyone? I'm just revising it for the next exercise, although we have done it a number of times. Okay, what is a metaphor? As like simile is an indirect comparison with the help of the use of like or as, but metaphor is that direct comparison in which two things are directly compared to each other without the use of like or as. Got it, everyone? And then we have personification. What is personification? I told you yesterday as well that personification is a literary device in which the humanly attributes are given to non-living things. It's a figurative language, a part of language, or it's a type of figurative language in which the humanly attributes or qualities are given to non-living things. As yesterday we read it in the poem as well. There was an example of a personification in the poem we discussed yesterday. And then we have imagery. Imagery is a constructions of details used to create mental images in the minds of the reader through the visual sense as well as the sense of touch, smell, taste, and sound. Imagery is basically the use of such strong words which create images in the minds of the readers. Images in the minds of the readers can be created through the words that create visual images, and the senses can be evolved that are touch, smell, taste, or sound. Okay, these are the definitions. Okay, and on the next page we have the exercises of these things. Exercise A on the same page is: in daffodils, similes are used in stanza 1 and 2. Can you tell? Okay, leave this. Move on to the next page. I did not upload that page on the slide because that page was solved on my book. So I just want you people to open page number 55. Open page number 55, and there is exercise C. Now for this exercise you are going to answer me in the chat box. You're going to write the answers in the chat box. Okay, okay, I'm starting. Here is a list of a few similes, metaphors, and personifications. Can you identify them? Write S for simile, M for metaphor, and P for personification. Okay, I am starting. Time is money. What is it? That's good. Metaphor. Anshra, it isn't simile, it's metaphor. Very good. Next, as busy as a bee. Yes, simile. Good. Very nice, everyone. Sadhaya. That's good, Lamya. It's a simile. Very nice. Now, the next one is: the wind whispered the rumors of the forest. Very good. It is personification. Very nice, everyone. Personification. As gentle as a lamb. As gentle as a lamb. Good. Simile. Simile. That's good. Okay. The sorry engine wheezed its death cough. Yes, it is personification. Very good, Saad, everyone. The heart of lion. The heart of lion. Very good. It's metaphor. That's good, everyone. Okay. The apple of my eye. The apple of my eye. That's good. It's again a metaphor. As cunning as a fox. Simile. Very good. Brown grass was begging for water. Personification. Very nice. As wise as an owl. Simile. Good. Blanket of snow. Metaphor. Very nice. Okay. As black as a crow. Simile. Very good. That's good. I'm happy for these quick responses. Very good. Now, come to vocabulary exercise. Use a thesaurus to find three more synonyms of the following words. You need to find more synonyms of the given words. Saw, glance, gaze, sight, stare, look. Good. Look, sight, stare, look. Very good. Seen, very nice. It can be vision as well. Seen, look, vision, stare, sight. Very good, everyone. That's good. Now, the next is shine, twinkle, sparkle. Shine, twinkle, sparkle. That's good. Glow, glow, bright, flicking, glimmer. That's good. Dazzling, flash. It can be dazzling, glitter, flash, luminous. There can be many other words. So we can have shine, twinkle, sparkle, glimmer, glitter, glow, dazzling, bright, sparkling. Sorry, sparkling is always there, luminous. So we can have a number of synonyms for these words. Now move on to the next page. This page is already here. Now we have this page, page number 56. Ji beta, open page number 56. Here we have connotation. What is connotation? We did it a number of times. Denotations and connotations. Give me the response in the chat box. What are denotations and connotations? Be quick, students. We have done it a number of times. Be quick. No answers. An idea. Okay, Haya. Basically, denotations are dictionary meanings of the words, and connotations are contextual meaning of the word. It is even written. Connotation means the attitude and feeling associated with the word opposed to its literally meaning. Literal meaning means that the idea, the feeling that is attached to the word uh, according to the context. So it is contextual meaning of the word is called connotation. So connotation can be positive or negative. For example, if we have the word snake, snake has the dictionary meaning of a, animal, insect, a poisonous insect. But the connotative meaning means if you have seen the snake in a context, that could be fear, poison. These are the connotative meanings. ठीक है? And now the connotations can be positive or negative. For example, if we have seen a person who is fat, we can say the positive connotation can be, we can say that the person is healthy. But the negative connotation, we can say how chubby that person is. So the connotations can be positive or negative. It depends upon the thinking of that person, how the person take the things. Now we have, for example, it's over here, a person is alone, and the positive connotation can be solitude, that he is enjoying his loneliness, and that the person is lonely. So it is the negative connotation that no one wants to be with that person. Okay, now we have specified positive and negative connotations of each word. If we have the word gaze, what would be the positive and negative connotation of the word gaze? No, you have to give the words. You have to give the words for the positive and negative connotations of the words. As I told you that for snake, that or those for alone, the positive connotation is solitude and the negative connotation is lonely. For gaze, Positive connotation, let me give you one more example. For gaze, the positive connotation can be look, and the negative connotation can be stare. Okay, sorry. I took the exercise wrong. Okay, you just need to tell that whether the connotation is positive or negative. Okay, done. That gaze is positive and stare is negative. Good. Okay, shine and glare. Shine is positive or negative? Positive. That's good. And glare is negative. That's good. And then we have hoard and collect. Hoard is positive or negative? Hoard is negative and collect is positive. Okay. Let's move on to the next exercise. On next page, first exercise was related to collective noun. Sorry, let's go back to the same page. There is an exercise related to collective noun. Collective noun, a singular noun such as committee or team that refers to a group of people, animal, or things is called a collective noun. For example, crowd is in this poem refers to a collection of or a large number of daffodils. So as you already know that what are collective nouns, it's a group of common nouns, and they take the collective nouns are always means they always take a singular helping verb. They are taken as a singular unit. So write the collective nouns for the following: a collection of ships. A collection of ships. Write that's good. It's Malaika, fleet, very nice. Collection of singers. Collection of singers, band, that's good. A collection of cattle. A collection of cattle. Be quick. Herd, very nice. A collection of soldiers. That's good. Army, very nice. The collection of soldiers is army. Okay, now we are going to move on to the next page. Underline the preposition of place in the poem. Okay, that's what you can do as a homework. Right now, we are not going to do it. You can do it as a homework. Now, use the following prepositions in sentences of your own. You will write the sentences in the chat box. Use the following prepositions in the sentences of your own. Behind, behind. Be quick, students. She was standing behind me. Appeared behind me. I heard the sound of music behind the building. The post office is behind my house. The child eater was behind me. The post office is behind the building. That's good, everyone. Very nice. And again, Lamya with a different sentence. Okay, the next word is beside. Beside. Be quick, students. The car park the car park is beside the bank. The keys are hung on the wall beside the door. The car parking is behind the bank. Okay, that's good, everyone. Okay, next, the dead boy was lying beside me. Next to, next to. Alina was sitting next to me. Good, very good. The school is next to the park. Very good. More sentences, please, everyone. Everyone, please be quick. Lamia, I am waiting for another different sentence. Be quick, be quick. Shrev was sitting next to me. The child eater sat next to me so it can eat me. Next, the word is under. Under. The cat is sitting under the table. Llama is sitting under the table. Okay. I used to keep my things under the bed. Things. Okay. Child either lives under my bed, giving me sleep paralysis. Paralysis. Okay. Next word is over. The next preposition is over. Birds are flying over the sea. Go over your assignment. It's not a sentence, Vita. I am famous all over the world. She travels all over the world. Okay, that's good, everyone. The next sentence is along. Along. He was walking along the river. Good. Along. Who else can make a sentence of this? Along. Along the kid over the lake. Okay. Now we are on along, Lamya. Along. Please come along with me. Okay, the chairs are lined up along the wall. That's good, everyone. Very nice. Next word we have is across. The next word we have is across. The bank is situated across the river. Okay, that's good. There is a bookstore across my house. Okay, that's good, everyone. My house is across the road. We saw them walking across the river. A child was across the bridge, terrorizing kids. Okay, that's good, everyone. So we are done up with the sentences or prepositions. Now we have a few times, so we can quickly do the exercise of conjunctions. Conjunction is something that we are already done. These are joining words, so you can read the things on your own and just fill. Let's fill up the exercise. Fill in the blanks with appropriate conjunctions. He ran fast. Dash, he missed the train. But he missed the train. That's good. Wait, I return. Wait until I return. Work hard, you should fail. Work hard, work hard. No, it's not so. Or work hard, or you should fail. Work hard, or you should fail. I did not come. Dash, you did not invite me. Because you did not invite me. That's good, everyone. You will get a prize. Dash, you deserve it. You will get a prize if you deserve it. Very good. You will get a prize if you deserve it. Let me repeat it. He ran fast, but he missed the train. Wait until I return. Work hard, or you should fail. I did not come because you did not invite me. You will get a prize if you deserve it. Okay, students, have you got everything? Is there any confusion in the things we did today? We did a number of things today. Okay, that's good. No confusion. Everything is clear. Okay, students, that's all for today. Best of luck and take care of yourselves, and Allah Hafiz for now.